Hey, what's up guys? This is Oakley and we're going to be playing a massive Shogun 2 Siege. The enemy forces are right in front of us. I'm going to be defending, and this is going to be on a castle that you all are pretty familiar with. We've done this one several times, and it's just a go-to classic. The castle itself has 3 levels. It's got a nice surrounding position with these ditches all around it for attackers to start making their way as they push up and try and attack you. And there are going to be a lot of these attackers trying to do just that. Huge numbers going to be moving up against us. The enemy with our castle, sorry, in the distance. And yet more units coming up here, lining up. Let's go ahead and go over the troop formations. We're going to go over the attackers first. This is going to be an interesting one. He's got a lot. Basically, it's going to be a tiered wave assault. So in the first wave, it's going to be 4 of these lone sword Ashigaros, already eager to take the fight to our guys here. So there you go, pushing forward. Then behind that, he's going to have, 6 of these katana samurai. Or sorry, 7 of those katana samurai. And in the back, he's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these bow Ashigaru. Oh, no, mix of Yari, 2 Yari samurai and 6 of these bow Ashigaru to reinforce. And then Avatar's bodyguard. I'm going to be starting to get some preliminary shots off with my guys over there. So as they're starting to get into position, I'm not going to allow them to do that just by themselves. So already their numbers starting to be whittled for no gains. But clearly their general does not care. These are the fodder peasants sent forward. I'm already starting to get some peasant blood on my screen. Yuck. And my Avatar's bodyguard here just to try and bait those guys off. The enemy force here is actually going to be a traditional force, and he's going to be arrayed with a different formation. Rather than sending human meat shields up front, he's going to be sending bow units, bokachi in loose formation, much smarter, to start clearing out the lines, covering fire. Then he's going to move in with a huge line of katana kachi, 4 of those, actually, and some spear levies, more guys, more yari kachi, and then over here he does have 1 infantry de marine for supporting fire. Now, I did deploy with some units on the outside to give me some tactical flexibility. I wanted the ability to force the enemy back and maybe take the initiative, so I have Matchlock Ashigaru, titled Which Side is the Barrel, and Yari Ashigaru. Actually, I want to put this on pause, so sorry, but I just want to catch that engagement. It's truly epic. And show you what's going on here. So our defensive position here is going to be some Nodachi, so some infantry, just to tie up enemy infantry that makes it in here. I have on the lower level Nodachi, some long Yari Ashigaru here. And in the front ranks, we're going to be putting forward some Matchlock Ashigaru, some foot samurai, and then I'm also going to be pulling in some bow Ashigaru here, just to start to put on the hurt on the enemy bow kachi over there. And yeah, that's going to be over in the front here. What we've decided to do is this preliminary bow Ashigaru, get some early shots off. You can see the amount of damage they did already, and they're going to be retreating, pulling back to the lone sword Ashigaru, and a lot of those guys in the mix. And why is this katana samurai such a small number? That must be a hero. But here on the second rank, Matchlock Ashigaru already getting some preliminary volleys, and here is going to be the special sauce of my defense. You can look right here. We have heavy gunners, and then we have firebomb throwers. So both of them combined can just deliver ridiculous amounts of shock damage. Heavy gunners, you'll see soon, do basically these lug around these hand cannons, these blunderbusses, ridiculous amount of damage. And then the firebomb throwers, you guys can imagine, it's much like the NAFTA throwers. But let's get into this. Here comes the first wave of the enemy forces. They're going to be coming up here, starting to scale the walls. All up along. So here they go. My general was forced to pull back. So here they go, starting to clamber up over the walls. Meanwhile, the second wave is going to be engaged, and now they're pulling up here. We're going to be engaging on foot with our own fodder units just to top the enemy forces. We do, however, have some Matchlock Samurai up there, just starting to pick apart the enemy forces as they make their way up here. And my heavy gunners right there, unleashing. I mean, look how many guys they forced to the ground in that first volley. Some of my own bows going to be unleashing on these men. So yeah, it's going to be a hard fought way up into the castle. My guys are going to retreat, pull back, and then I'm going to fall back to these lines of spears, present a spear wall to my opponents. So you can see them starting to crest the wall over there, and what they're going to be greeted with is a secondary layer of matchlocks firing out from defensive positions up here. They're going to be absorbed on this one unit here, and yeah, they're in the open plains is exactly where I want to get my heavy gunners and matchlocks to start unleashing on them, plus my bows in the distance, just cleaning up these forces. So that is what's going on here. Let's put this on pause, just super quick. An enemy force is coming up here, but we do have enough units to greet them. Along Yari Ashigaru, we're going to be pulling back while we can, not to lose forces. Over here, the enemy is pressing the issue. What they're doing is a really good move, which is they were clearing out our positions with a lot of their bows. They're going to be starting to retarget our guys. Just a lot of suppressing fire, cleared out our forces here, killed a lot of our men, forced us back, and it's going to allow them to push forward with their units over there. But my guy's still going to be doing a lot of damage against his Bokachi as they push up and constantly threatening that flank. Let's watch these guys. See those shots actually leaving like little debris coming up out of the ground. And now this Yari wall is going to be pushing forward, forcing this initial wave back. Our own units still standing here in the mess of bodies in the mix, and some supporting bow fire coming in from our guys. Now the enemy force is going to start coming down with some of its own deadly rain on our forces. So they finally activated their bows. If I were them, I would have sent those bows in first. And now my own bomb throwers are going to be chucking some of their specially cooked bombs into the mix, and that is going to break this unit. So we've been able to clear this out with relative ease, supporting fire from the secondary ranks, helping us clean this up cost effectively. And yeah, all the units on the first rank are going to get destroyed. Not much left for them to do but charge. The enemy bows, however, having a little bit more of an advantage here, clearing out our guys. Like I said, they probably should have done that first. Let's go ahead and put this on pause just because we're dealing with the battle on two fronts. So here you go, the enemy force has pushed up to the top. We're going to be engaging with our Nodachi Samurai to stop them. Some supporting Matchlok Ashigaru, and then my guys here are going to wait for them to filter up and then slam the door on the back. They do have a lot of bows in the rear here. Yeah, pretty good suppressing fire. And that's going to be whittling our guys. If we delay too long, they'll be able to shoot us up in the back, so we really want to break those guys in the front. Over here, I've been able to clean up some of the enemy force and threaten the flank, preventing these guys from pushing up here and dealing with our guys in the back. That's a very important move. Back to this side of the fight. This is going to be the one that's more interesting, I find. I'm pulling back with my bows to perhaps help reinforce that position because they have a lot of bows left. And my bomb throwers are just tossing everything into the mix, cleaning those guys up and then charging forward. Despite there still being men left, we're going to say fuck it, we're going to get in on the fight. And you may be wondering where I'm going. Take a look at what's on the other side here. Juicy, juicy targets. So I got my bomb throwers ready, and they're going to start to get some fire off against us. But now I have my heavy gunners starting to toss some bombs, and then let's watch this. Just taking out huge clusters. I mean, look at that. The volleys of those guys is crazy. You can see almost like little cannons. My bomb lobbers tossing in bombs, blowing up clusters of the Ashigaru. This is just, you understand why I wanted to show you this part of the engagement. And the bows not having it. They're trying to silence my guys. But I'm just going to stick in it just because this is such a good, tempting cluster of targets. Look how I'm tearing these guys, their lines apart. I have my own units committing on the side to tear these units up. And Jesus Christ, this is so freaking bloody. Just delaying, pushing on the side, drawing their attention away, and going to continue to fire. Now I'm going to start to target, I believe, the enemy generals here soon. He's going to try and help combine fire against these guys. Man, it is not going well. There you go. Just, that was one volley right there into the enemy general. So you can see why these heavy gunners are incredibly powerful. They're sniping another couple guys, and boom, there you go. We destroyed that entire flank. Now the enemy bows are going to start to panic and run. They're going to try and get on out of there. I'm going to not allow them to get away without significant losses. My range is short, so you know, they probably should have run beforehand, but yeah, I have some guys on the low ground Be chasing those men away, reinforcing men here to chase those bows away. So that's going to relieve the pressure. The fight is still on over on this flank. We were able to clean up the enemy forces here somewhat, but they did tremendous damage, and now they have a lot of bows. Their Infantry de Marine is going to be cleaning out the lines here. Enemy bow fire is going to be continuing to pour in on our lines. We're going to start to be spread thin here. Infantry de Marine and supporting fire is going to clean out their guys. It looks like they even have some men starting to grapple and come up to the top. So some of them are actually going to be shot up as they try and do so, but they're nonetheless going to accept those losses and push up into the second level of our keep. My bows were able to draw back a little bit, and now we're going to be cleaning these guys up. One of those guys taking just a bow to the face. We'll watch more of them as they try and push up here. They're going to take volley after volley. Some of our own matchlocks actually on the top level. And this is the danger of these Japanese forts. Even if you're able to clear the first level, you're just on a second open plain where you're going to get shot up and destroyed. They do have significant numbers here. Drawing away where my guys can't give supporting fire. I have low range. So we're going to be focusing our advance on this front. We are starting to break in some of our numbers. My bow Ashigari here is starting to break. Front lines here is starting to break. The enemy bows are taking their toll on our guys. We don't have too much necessarily left. So that's why I need to bring in more reinforcements from this flank. As we do that, the enemy is going to react and they're going to push forward with their bows, deciding to focus on our matchlock Ashigari who are not on the walls. But man, look at the sheer carnage that was left over here. And here's what happens once we leave this side. And holy crap, that is a lot of arrows. So you're going to try and make it back to the defensive parapets there, but that's going to clean out our ranks. So there you go, we've broken. So they actually have secured, finally, a passage up through here. All it took was a little coordination for both armies. Now we do still have one Boashigaro force, but it's not enough to force those guys back. They can outgun us. Our focus, however, is going to be over here. Some of these bows seem to be out of ammo, so I decided to charge in with some of our own forces just to tie them down. I'm going to be making a push, again, like I said, over here with my guys who were here just to be able to take the initiative. Yari Ashigaru in the front to push it back, and then my matchlock here who have taken a pretty severe beating there to target the enemy cavalry. And then my general is actually going to be getting in on the action here. It's actually going to charge right into some spears, perhaps not the best of engagements. I'm going to be losing a significant number of men. I'm going to pull on out of there, allow my Yari Ashigaru to tank that fight. I rallied my men, and over here his Infantry de Marine, who were doing a lot of damage against my guys, are going to get charged. Now the enemy general did get some volleys off against me. But here we go. I wanted to tie these guys up, start cutting apart this very, very expensive, crucial unit. His cavalry continuing to snipe me, very vengeful, taking out my general one at a time. It looks like I only have 3 units left. Pop Bonsai just so I wouldn't break, and I'm going to try and pull out of there desperately before he gets some volleys. That was enough to get my bows out of combat, regroup, and then us to clean up these positions. So we are winning on that front. My general sacrificing himself, still alive, delaying those guys just enough for us to reform. He did break my guys, but it was enough to get out of there with my general. The enemy general is going to be in hot pursuit with his guns. He's going to be coming deadly close to the towers, so some of our arrows you can see there, close but no cigar, missing. He's going to be in hot pursuit of my guys. He definitely wants to take them out, but then he saw that I was bringing in my bow Ashigaru here to ward his guys off, plus I have my heavy gunners here. And these guys actually, you missed it, they got some nice volleys against these bow Ashigaru who tried to push up into this position, and they got a face full of lead from my heavy gunners. So my heavy gunners effectively routed this entire remaining enemy force as they tried to push up on the side, and then my general is going to be in on the mix to clean up the remaining guys here, and it's just going to be free reign on them. There is no supporting enemy force. The enemy general gave up his chase because I had forces here to stop those guys there, and the rest is history. So I hope you guys enjoyed. The heavy gunner combo with the bomb throwers resulted in a lot of kills right here, and especially down over here. Let's go ahead and actually end the battle and look at some of the stats so we can quantify just how many kills we got going on there. I'd be interested to see actually if they got as much done as I thought, because it looked withering from the battlefield perspective, and especially them taking out the enemy general in like 1 or 2 volleys. That was impressive. Looks like I got the most amount of kills. Let's go ahead and look at the unit stats right there. Actually, my footmen getting the most amount of kills. Heavy gunners still 205 kills, definitely proving themselves. I want to see where my bomb throwers actually getting some of the least amount of kills. 50, not too bad for a pretty cheap unit with 30 men. So each of them getting more than one and a little bit kills. So pretty impressive, I would have to say. I'm definitely going to have to try and bring these heavy gunners more often. Devastating. I did not know that. Kind of expensive and pricey and vulnerable in an open battle, but in a siege, man, they kick ass. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your recommendations for what you'd like to see more of in the future. If you want to see me on the attack, on the defense, recommend a castle, recommend a situation, I'm all ears. See you in the next one. Peace out.